So hi, this is a video looking at the leak compound for Befur steam launch, and I just want to show you the assembly we built to drive the feed pumps. Normally they're driven from the crosshead according to the drawings, as you can probably see on these drawings here, but the problem is if you want to drive the engine at full speed, about 600 RPM, then that turns out to be too fast for the feed pumps to operate. So what we've built is this assembly on this end. You have to excuse the pieces of hose pipe feeding the pumps with some water. An assembly on this side that is driven directly from the crank via a chain wheel. It has a duplex chain providing about a 3.5 to 1 speed up, which then drives this blue worm box, which you can see in here, standard commercial worm gearbox, which is then driving these two Scotch crank assemblies, one on each side with a small bearing, that drives up through these bars to a crosshead mounted on top of the pump assembly itself, which has two feed pump, standard ram pumps with valves on the outside, and an Edwards air pump in the middle. And for the purposes of the demo, we've coupled a pair of gauges to the front of this. The one on the left is showing the vacuum, and as you can see, that pulls down to sort of 30 inches of mercury. Slightly troubling focus on that. And obviously the other pressure is a straight pressure gauge, which is monitoring the feed pump output, and that's actually connected to this safety valve here, which is set at around 200 psi. And so what will happen is when we apply air, because we're only running this on air at the moment, apply air to the engine, it should start driving the duplex chain, driving the worm gearbox, the Scotch cranks and the pump assembly, and we should see the boiler pressure feed come up to around 200, 250, and you'll see that we're also managing to pull about 20 inches of vacuum. So let me just connect an air line to it, and we'll... We had the valve gear misset there, so now just restarting it, you can see that we're peaking about 250 psi. Obviously the safety valve is blowing off, you can see the water getting pumped, and the vacuum is pulling down to about 20. It's not staying there, sadly. Must be a slight leak in the valve, but pretty good, I think. We're about the limit of the compressor to drive the engine, so it's getting slower and slower. But either way, you can see the whole thing kind of operates. Thank you for watching.